Really excited kid, a really smart kid, a really loving and giving kid. And that's a world really wasn't accepting of that at the time. And so I stopped believing it and I started living in these falsehoods, and I gave myself the ick, essentially. And this person was drinking 2 bottles of wine a night in her parents' basement, dating a line cook. No offense to line cooks, if you know, you know. And I was working at Applebee's as a waitress. I had failed out of college. I barely graduated high school. I had to repeat my junior year of high school because I just wasn't interested in it. And at some point along the way, I was told I wasn't living up to my potential. And I was like, what does that even mean? Okay, I'm not living up to my potential, so I guess I won't do anything. And I just gave up. I gave up at life. And so this person, she's so sweet. I love her so much, but she got into a lot of trouble. And she went to jail twice. The first time was like, whatever. It's like a fun little staycation, you know? You gotta. Second time's a little scarier because I was there for 10 days. And I was driving there with my mom. My mom's nervous, I'm nervous, and I get in the jail and the door slams behind me. It's loud and the lights are really bright. I don't know if any of you have been to jail. They never turn the lights off, ever. And so I look around and there's like 30 women, and I don't know if you guys know this about jail. Most people don't. Because they never shut the lights off, the bottom bunks, that is like prime real estate. Like, the people on the bottom bunks are the ones that like are the politicians of the group. You know, you want to get closer to them. You want to understand what they need and give it to them. And so I just started looking around. It's like, okay, her and her and her, because I knew I wanted to sleep. And so this is where the authenticity comes in. If I have nothing else, I have what God gave me. So I started taking audit of what God gave me. Who am I? I'm funny. I was like, I'm kind of witty. I'm charming sometimes. I'm smart. And I started using that. Like, I just started telling jokes. And I started explaining what I was reading in books. And when another thing I'm really good at is solving problems. And so they got a lot of problems in jail. So I was like, what's going on? Like, why are you here? And I just started coaching them before I was ever a coach. I was like 22 years old. And they loved me. So by day 5, I had a bottom bunk. They called me funny little white girl. And I had a bottom bunk. And so that's when I realized that, 1, I can do anything, because I was terrified to be in jail by myself. No family, no support system. You could barely even call them. I'm very close with my family, and it was just terrifying. But I used what God gave me, which was my connection and my resources. And I actually thrived in there. I'm still, to this day, friends with women that were in there, and they're bettering their lives. And it's been so fun to watch. So I leave jail, and I got a little bit of swag now. I'm like, okay, I did something I didn't know I could do, and I learned something about myself. I learned that I can help coach people. I learned that I'm kind of persuasive and a little charming and witty and all those things. Like, I learned so much about myself, and I'm resilient. And so then I still go back to my job at Applebee's. I'm driving there one day. So cheesy to tell, but it's the truth. I'm driving to Applebee's, and Katy Perry's Firework comes on the radio. You guys know that song? It's so cheesy. And I stopped, and I was like, I am a firework. It was like a holy moment. I am a firework. And I was like, what do I want to do with my life? What can I do? I have no college degree. I've been to jail twice now. I'm completely unhireable. I really don't have anything going on for me. And so I said, well, what do I have? Well, I'm a quick learner. I'm witty. I'm persuasive. I'm funny. I'm charming. I'm good with people. I'm a problem solver. I learn on the go. And I thought, I could be a paralegal. So I literally tell one person, and she goes, you know what? My mom's best friend's daughter needs a paralegal. I was like, okay. So I went into the interview, lied. She was like, have you done this before? I'm like, yeah. totally. And so, so we built that business. I had never been around a woman that was like stunning and brilliant, because I grew up thinking that being pretty and smart, I mean, excommunicated, like you're in trouble. Nope, she was pretty and she was smart and she was like the best lawyer. And I watched her and I learned how to run a business. Not only did I learn how to become a paralegal, like as I was going, I learned about the law. And if you guys don't know, paralegals do 90% of the legal work. They write everything. I mean, they don't go to court, but they basically do everything. So I learned it. We built it to $1 million business in a year. She now has 3 offices. It's like a multi-million-dollar business. We started in a 1-bedroom apartment. You know what I learned about myself? I reaffirmed, doubled down on all the things I already knew. 5 plus 5, 2 plus 2. But I also learned, okay, I could probably build a business. It's like not that hard, I just did it. But I hated that job. It was soul-sucking. It was taking the life out of me. I love people too much to watch them in so much pain every single day, not to be able to do something about it. And so I started blogging. I was like, what can I do? What do I have? What do I know? What did God give me? And I started just blogging, writing, sharing. And people started asking me how I got so much traffic. And I was like, oh, I could teach other people how to do this. And I had no training, and I just taught people how to get that traffic. And then I had a business out of nowhere. And all it was me taking what God had given me, no matter what, as authentic as it could be, and investing it back in, just pouring it back in. And so she went to this person, the next person, which is happy me. But like, look at that. Like, look at that difference. And yes, God did invent filters and fillers and Botox because we share a love of refinement and beauty.